everyone, welcome back. I'm here with the 2022 Midyear Freakout tag, and I forgot the name for a second. I'm gonna try and make this a little bit shorter because my last video is quite long, and I know that as like a new YouTuber, you shouldn't put too much out there right away. But yeah, so I'm gonna do this tag. I'm gonna kind of brief through it. I won't really give details about the books, especially the ones I haven't read yet. And an apology if you can hear my fan in the background. I'll try and fix it during editing, but it's 35 degrees. I lied. It's 30 degrees here in Korea today, and I can't sit here and film this without any fan. You're lucky I turned off my aircon. So yeah, let's get started. So 2022 has been a bit rocky for me in reading. January I read a lot. February I didn't. April I read nothing. May I read nothing. June I read 15 books, and July is looking like a pretty good month as well. But let's first roll in and see our Storygraph stats. Actually, I spent like an hour transferring all of my Goodreads stuff over to Storygraph, and just so I could see the stats. So let's see. So far, I have read 70. No, Katherine. So far, I have read 38 books. Actually, it's 39, but one of the books that I read in Korean is not on here, and I was too lazy to make it myself. So 39 books. Let's see, I've read 12,823 pages. That's pretty good, which is about 28.5 hours of reading. And it seems like I've been reading so much longer than that. But yeah, my biggest mood is dark. Okay. Next is mysterious. Okay. And emotional. Dark, mysterious, emotional. Am I not like other girls? Wow. Okay, let's see anyways. Next one is adventurous. So that pretty much sums up, seeing how I read mostly fantasy. My least, relaxing. I read one book that's relaxing. Cool. And apparently I prefer medium-paced books, which again makes sense. I don't really like slow-paced books. And my average book is about 300 to 500 pages, which is, again, a fantasy quirk, is that the books are always so long. Audiobook length, I've only listened to a couple of audiobooks and blah blah blah, mostly fiction. And these are my genres. You can see that apparently I read mostly young adults. I don't think that's true. Fantasy. And yeah, okay. So I have nothing else really to say about my stats. So let's move on to the questions. The first question is, what is the best book that I've read in 2022? And I had to think a lot about this because either I read the book and loved it, or I read it and rated it 3 stars. So it was like a toss-up of which one I would choose, but I chose The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. That book was the first time in a very long time that I was able to become completely immersed in a plot and like actually feel things for the characters. So yeah, it's a high fantasy, really dark, really gritty. Check the trigger warnings before you read it because it does pack in some punches. But I do like the representation in this book, and her writing was amazing. So yeah. Question 2 is the best sequel that you read. And I was gonna say the second Poppy War book, but I wanted to talk about a different book instead. So the best sequel that I've read in 2022 is none other than Crooked Kingdoms by Leigh Bardugo. You guys all know what this is about. There's a heist, there's a found family, there's pain and sadness, and I just loved it. These are my tabs. Kind of went a little crazy. Actually, in the middle of reading this, I had to stop and order more tabs online because, yeah, anyways. So I really love this. The characters are really great, and I'm kind of kicking myself for waiting so long to read it, but it was really good, and I would like a third one, but Bardugo said that if she makes a third one, that a crow is going to die, and I don't. A duology is fine. A duology is fine. Okay. The next question that is a book that you haven't read but you want to, and because it's summer, I've been craving kind of like cutesy romance books, you know. It's summer, I don't want to go outside. I'm married, but we're both too hot and sweaty to do cute things in the summer. So I want to read Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I haven't read any of her books before, but everyone on Book Talk and Bookstagram is raving about this book, so I bought it. I don't often read romance, and we'll see. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I'll sell it, you know. But I mean, two bookworms meeting each other or something like that. I don't know. But it's about people dating. They like books. I like books. We all like books. If you're watching this, I assume you like books. So, yeah, let's try it. The next question actually has two answers because I can't make up my mind. So it's like the most anticipated release for the second half of 2022, and that would be, okay, so I have two. So the first one is The Enclaves by Naomi Novik, which is the third book in the Skullomance series. I talked about these books a bit more in my June wrap up, but I hated the first book. The second book was great, and had a huge cliffhanger. I mean, like the biggest cliffhanger I've experienced in a very long time. And I need it. I need it. I can't, like, I think about it at least once a day. Okay, or the second book, which I'm really excited for, is Bloodmark by Tracy Dion. Again, I talked about this in my June wrap-up. I did read Legendborn in my June wrap-up, and I loved it. And it also had kind of a cliffhanger. It wasn't as severe as the Naomi Novik book, but again, I want to read it. Next question, biggest disappointment. Again, I talked about this in my June wrap-up, but it's Apples Never Fall by Liane Moriarty. Great build-up, good suspense, good like whodunit, and then a really cop-out ending. So check out my June wrap-up if you want to hear me talk more about that. Next question is biggest surprise, and again, that is A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. The reason that this was a surprise is that I really, really, really didn't like the first book. I thought it was really hard to read, and there was too much information, and the plot was kind of garbled. But I was so shocked when I read the second book, and I was like, it's good. I need the next one. So yeah, that was a really big surprise because I thought I'd hate it, but I loved it. Well, I wouldn't say love. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So next question, new favorite author. That is going back to my first question. R.F. Kuang. I read her whole Poppy War trilogy. Loved every single book. I think it was 5-star across the board. I also hear that she has a new book coming out soon, and I want to read it. So. And then question 8, new favorite fictional crush. I have two. Let's start with Sal from Legendborn. You know, moody, probably has some daddy issues. You know, dark, handsome. It's self-explanatory, but he's my type. What can I say? I have a book type. Actually, I decided not to say my second crush because they're also the answer to this question, which is your new favorite character, and that is Nina from Six of Crows. I just love her. I like kind of got a lot of myself in her, and like I saw a lot of myself, and every time I read one of her point of views I wanted to eat waffles, and I don't know, I just love her. I recently started watching the Shadow and Bone show, and I haven't met her in the storyline yet because I'm only on episode 2. But I don't know, she's just so funny and sweet, and like she was like genuine, and it was also really nice to see like a non-skinny or muscular character in a fantasy novel, you know? Usually like the fantasy girls are either like really like stocky and muscular and scary, or they're like lithe and like willow thin and like all this. So it was nice to hear like her curves and her body shape being described and like relating to it. I know she's not like plus size, maybe, at least in the show I think she's not, but yeah, it was really, I don't know, I just love her. I would love to have a Nina in my life. Next question is book that made you cry, and apparently this year I have no emotions. I read so many book deaths and heartbreaks, and I didn't shed a single tear. So I've got an emotional plug-in right now. So if you have any suggestions for a book that's gonna get these waterworks, please recommend, because I need a good cry that's not caused by something in my own life. So yeah, leave some like tearjerker recommendations down below. Next question is a book that made you happy, and that is the Heartstopper 4. I just love Heartstopper. Like, of course everyone loves it, and I just really, really loved it. Like, I don't know, I felt connected to these characters and like this little like ragtag bunch of kids that are just living their lives. And yeah, like it just made me so happy to read. I'm due for a reread soon. And last question, because I'm trying to make this short, so I kind of rushed through, is the most beautiful book you bought this year? And I have two contenders for this question, and they're kind of like my two styles. So first we have, let's do this one first. Okay, first we have Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. I still can't say this. And this book really complements my like simplistic kind of like digital art love. It's very simple, very bold, but it's beautiful. Like, look at this cover. It's just so simple but so nice, and I think I'm gonna read this book next, actually. And yeah, and then the second one kind of ties in with my love for like classic like pretty art and like all this stuff, and that's the Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe, which is the second book in the series. I read the first book on ebook, but this was really cheap, so I bought it. And it's just beautiful. Like, it's hard to see on camera, but these leaves are kind of like gilded or shiny, and then we have the cat and like the clocks that are different times and stuff. Okay, so that finishes up my mid-year freakout tag. I'm sorry if it was boring. I'm sorry if my fan sound is in the background. I'm sorry it was really dark. It's a gloomy day today. But I just wanted to post something because these days I really want to connect more with booktube and book talk and all this stuff, but I'm very busy these days moving apartments, and I just got married and stuff, so kind of busy, but I just wanted to put something out and hope that you guys can watch and maybe comment and chat with me. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you like books, leave a comment. If you don't comment, you don't like books and you're a fake reader. Okay? Bye.